Welcome one, welcome all. Welcome to the Amanda Manigault Show. And of course, I have Miss Chatter with me tonight.
Chatter. Uniquia Manigault, Black Girl Beauty Coach.
So tonight, before we get started, y'all know what we have to do. We got to check in and let me share my little screen a little bit here with some other folks. Come on in, y'all. We are ready to get started. You can chat for a second.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are here to have a great time, get informed, be encouraged, get some confidence, see some beauty queens, because you know we're here for it. And my name again is Coach Uniquia Manigault. I am Black Girl Beauty Coach Uniquia Manigault. I teach acting, modeling, poetry at Black Girl Beauty School of Careers. And I want to begin, you guys, today with a poem. It's in the mind. Cultivate your mind to always envision optimism. Condition your ears to listen real clear and free your mind from egoism. Train your brain to align with Christ and let that adjust your mannerism. Grooming yourself begins with the mind. Life teaches you this with time. All your answers lie with you inside. The key is to cultivate your mind. Truth be told, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to begin with that tonight because we are speaking here with you about our upcoming event. And in life, when you're taking journeys, when you're embarking on events, when you're getting to know, when you're building businesses, when you're networking, it is all in the mind. How you present yourself, how you speak, how you walk, how you talk, it begins with what you're thinking. And that is why I began with that poem here today, because we want to let you know that when you step into this world, the first thing you need to do is get your mind in order. Because when your mind is in order, then your body follows, because your mind gonna tell it what to do. If a man thinketh, so is he. As we can see, ladies and gentlemen, we're back to it. You know, Miss Amanda likes to piggyback and jump on, and she gonna finish the sentences for me. But thank God we got it, ladies and gentlemen. Mother-daughter duo.
Absolutely. And welcome, Uniquia. It's good to have you back on the show again.
Absolutely.
She's been absent for a while, ladies and gentlemen.
She just had to, ladies.
But nevertheless, we have an amazing show tonight. We have a powerhouse of women. We have the Rising Above Beauty and Business Summit coming up this Friday in Atlanta, Georgia, and our panelists will be on here tonight, and we may even have a surprise guest for you tonight, all the way at the end. So stay to the end if you want to see who that surprise guest is. But for now, I want to read this scripture to you. I'm gonna go to Proverbs 31 and 25. It says, "She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come." And you know, I love the scripture because it reminds me that every woman, no matter where she comes from, what she has been through, or what she's facing, that God has already dressed her in strength.
Amen.
Not the kind of strength that the world gives, but the kind of strength that comes from knowing who you are in Him. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have some powerful women that all have different stories to tell, different businesses, different strategies, and different systems. And they're just going to touch on it a little bit. They're not going to dive deep into it. You know why? Because you're going to come to the summit to see them at the summit and learn more about them. But tonight, they're going to introduce themselves to you, and they're going to remind us that we can stand with dignity. We can stand with grace. We can be responsible women and handle our businesses and do the things that we're supposed to. These are queens that will be here tonight. Queens that own their businesses, queens that own their own lives, that take control of their responsibility, that stand strong for something. When you stand for something, guess what? You stand for something. So tonight, as we gather with these powerful women, I want to speak over all of us. You the strong, you are dignified, and you can face tomorrow with whatever challenges that you may have. So if you would just bow your heads for me, y'all know I like to start with a little prayer. And tonight, because we have these powerful women on this platform, I want to start with a little bit of prayer for our women, for you, for our listeners, for everyone who's just, no matter where you're coming from, where you're viewing it from, I just want to say a little prayer. If you could just bow your heads with me tonight. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this moment and for bringing us together tonight. Lord, your word reminds us that you have plans for us, plans to prosper us, to protect us, and to give us hope and a beautiful future. Father, I ask that you cover every woman on this panel and every viewer watching. Let your peace settle in this space and let your guidance flow through our conversation tonight. Bless our stories, our perspectives, and our voices. Use our words to uplift, inspire, and empower someone who needs to be reminded that you are not finished with them yet. Lord, go before us, order our steps, fill this show with your presence, and let everything we do bring you glory. We thank you in advance for your breakthroughs, the clarity, the encouragement, and the strength that will come from tonight. In Jesus' mighty name, we pray. All right. I'm going to start tonight by talking about businesses and the businesses that succeed, that will succeed in 2026. What's different going into 2026? What are you doing different? What changes are you making? How are you preparing? There's some things that's shifting in our industries right now. I don't care what industry you're in. The world is changing right before us. And I just want to touch on that. Some things that you must have this year. Number one, businesses must build community, not just customers. What does that mean? That means we have been so conditioned over the last 10, 20 years to going into our businesses and operating our businesses. But now we have to do more. We have to build strong relationships and strong communities. People like to do business with people that they are comfortable with and that they have a relationship with. Businesses must build partnerships. These are things that you must build if you plan to succeed in 2026. You must build partnerships. Business owners will need collaborations, cross promotions, strategic partnerships, referral relationships, and industry alliances. This is why our summit matters. This Friday, if you have not gotten your ticket, that is important. These are the things we're talking about. Businesses must create multiple streams of income. We cannot rely on just one income. And you can do that by building up under the current umbrella that you're under. If you just have one business, you could build other little businesses under that one business. I tell people all the time, you don't need 30 different businesses. You need one strong businesses with 10 ways of making money. Or you can have 3 or 4 small businesses underneath there, but you need multiple streams of income in this new world and this new wave that we're going into. Businesses must develop a real digital footprint. We're going to be talking about that a little bit tonight. What does that mean? Video content, social media, good Google visibility, brand authority, consistent messaging. Businesses must have that in order to succeed in 2026. Businesses must prepare for AI to become a standard way of doing business, not just a temporary way of doing business, but a standard way for your marketing, for your scheduling, for your customer service, and for your content productivity. This is no longer an option. It is a must. Businesses must prioritize the youth, apprenticeships, and workforce development. That is a must. By 2026, there will be a huge demand for skilled workers, and business owners who prepare now will be the ones ready to scale. That's why apprenticeships and workforce development and youth development will be key to your business growth. Number 7, Businesses must build brand reputation, not just marketing. In 2026, people will invest in brands with integrity, credibility, transparency, and emotional connection. Marketing does get attention. Reputation gets customers.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you're just now tuning in with us, drop a like, drop a comment, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. This is the Amanda Manigault Show here with Amanda Manigault, Black Girl Beauty Coach, and Black Girl Beauty Coach Uniquia Manigault. Take it over, Miss Amanda.
She just took it over, right? So we are happy. We are happy to have you. We're gonna have some fun tonight. Tell them who we what we're doing. You don't have to do the intro just yet, but just tell them what's going on tonight. Since you done, came in and stopped what I
and told them to drop a share and a like. Go ahead and take over, ladies and gentlemen. I am Black Girl Beauty Coach Uniquia Manigault again, as I have said, and tonight we are going to be sitting down with some of our panelists from our summit, and they're going to tell you what their businesses are about, just a little snippet, because like Miss Amanda said in the beginning, to get the full details and the full breakdown and get everything that we have, majority of what we have to offer, you need to come down to the summit. But tonight we're going to give you a breakdown and an overall view of what's to come. We're going to show you the dynamics of the mother-daughter duo. We have a few coming in. We have a special guest that's going to step onto the screen a little bit later on. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a heated topic for you. I have to say topic. I didn't want to say conversation, because it's 2025. People say heated conversation, and we think the worst. We have a heated topic for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to break down Black Girl Beauty's Summit and tell you everything that you can expect when you step out. And ladies and gentlemen, it is so important, like Miss Amanda said, when you have multiple streams of income, you have to advertise. Getting your business and your brand out here in the world is so important. And it's not just on social media. You have to get out here in the community and get to know the people in your community, so that when you have events, or when you're trying to do giveaways, or when you're trying to give back to your community, they have to know who you are. It's one thing for you to have multiple streams of income, but if nobody knows who you are, that means you're spending more money than you're making. And ladies and gentlemen, that is why you need to tune in tonight to all of our panelists, just a few that we have coming up, and they're going to tell you how they began and give you an overall snippet of what they have to offer. Take it back over, Miss Amanda.
Well, she talked about it a little bit, but one of the things that I wanted to mention that she didn't mention, at this summit, we will be doing a ribbon cutting, you guys, for the very first 100% Black-owned online and hybrid beauty and trades apprenticeship career school.
Now, Miss Amanda, there are a lot of people out here in the world that absolutely do not know what that is. Can you please explain to them exactly what is a 100% online, whatever you just said?
Whatever it is, it's whatever it never been. Because we are the first one.
Exactly.
So in other words, you guys, there's two ways to get a license in beauty. One, you can go to a traditional on-campus school, or two, you can get a license by way of apprenticeship. So when I say we are the first 100% in beauty and online apprenticeship trainings, that's what I mean, that right now you can bypass going to school. I mean, completely bypass going to a traditional on-campus school and go straight on the job and get all your book work 100% online, get prepared for the testing online. It's an amazing experience that we have. And we're going to talk more about that at the summit as well, because these are the new ways. We're talking about the new ways to be able to survive in 2026, right? And so this is something new. Let me tell you something. You better tap in. You better get your kids tapped in.
Absolutely.
Because Go ahead.
And one thing that I want to mention that Miss Amanda did not mention is, yeah, we got to go toe to toe now. She gonna tell you what I ain't mentioned. I'm gonna tell you what she ain't mentioned. Ladies and gentlemen, what she did not specify about apprenticeship, because a lot of us don't know what that is. If you're not into the industry, a lot of people hear the word apprenticeship and we don't know what that is. We're like, apprenticeship, appointment, like what is that? An apprenticeship is when you learn while you earn.
On the job. Again, on the job.
You learn while you earn. And ladies and gentlemen, that means while you're learning, while you're getting on the job experience training, as if you were in a school, except you're getting this information on hand. You're getting it in person. The thing you're gonna get your practical online, and then you're gonna go into the salon or whatever business or trade that you decide to take on, because we're not just cosmetology. Step into it, ladies and gentlemen.
Performing arts.
We have multiple. I said we're not just cosmetology, ladies and gentlemen. We have multiple streams and multiple trades that you can take up here at Black Girl Beauty School of Careers. So when you are on an apprenticeship, you go into the facility. You're learning. You're getting your bookwork online. And you are also getting paid. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to tell you, I went to a HBCU. I did not get paid. So I wish I had the opportunity. Actually, now I do. And I'm giving that opportunity here at Black Girl. We are giving that opportunity here at Black Girl Beauty School of Careers to any and everyone that is willing to sign up and willing to do the work. Because I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, like any other degree that you will get, it will not come easy. It will take hard work and dedication, but it will be worth it. And what you will have to do is going to give you the money, because that's what it's all about. Multiple streams of income, but it begins with the apprenticeship program, and you get to really get hands-on training. Not only are you getting the book work, not only are you getting the experience, you are getting hands-on in the job experience.
And
like you're dealing with customers. You're going to experience things that you don't get in school. And that is what we have here at Black Girl Beauty School of Career.
Awesome. So we're going to dive in because we got several people that's going to be on our show tonight. And so I'm going to start with a young lady out of Atlanta by way of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, my hometown. Her name is Marvette Critney, and she is a seasoned creative and business architect. She is a brilliantly talented seasoned powerhouse, a digital creator, architect, real estate agent, and broker, and CEO of Brag Differently and Company, an opulence real estate group. She brings wisdom, creativity, and years of professional experience that women everywhere can learn from. Marvette, thank you for being with us here tonight. And I just want you to tell us I just read a little bit about you. I want you to have this moment to tell us, who are you really? Who's Marvette Critney?
And what do you do?
And what do I do? Oh gosh. You know what? I would say in a nutshell, I am what they call a quintessential polymath. So everybody usually has one of those girlfriends that it doesn't matter what it is. It could be brain surgery. And somebody is going to call me up and ask me, hey, Marvette, who's the best brain surgeon? Or what do you know about this? So I'm one of those individuals that when I say that I really do know it all, I really do know it all. And the things that I don't know, I know the people that I need to put you in contact with to get things done. So my background is 25 plus years as a federal employee. So I was one of those federal employees. And as Amanda said, we grew up together. So we're both from Harrisburg. I've been in the Atlanta area since 97. I run a boutique real estate firm here in Atlanta. And then I also run a digital marketing company. So I teach women and a few men how to earn, live, and thrive in this digital global world. And I've been doing this now for over 10 plus years. So as Amanda said, one of the things you guys are going to learn is that you have got to have multiple streams of income. And you have got to tap into this AI revolution because it is not going to go anywhere. I know we get people that are like, I don't want to use AI. I don't like AI. You will either learn AI or you will get left behind. You don't have a choice. It's as simple as that. So that's me in a nutshell, is that I teach other women how to tap into their genius and create digital products, digital businesses, things that they can really run online and then tap into that passive income. So that's me in a nutshell.
And ladies and gentlemen, before Miss Amanda comes in, I want to explain the term seasoned and unseasoned, so that, because she spoke and said that Miss Marvette was the seasoned. We use seasoned and unseasoned to describe ourselves. Miss Amanda and Miss Marvette are a part of the seasoned crew. And I myself, we have another guest coming in later, we are the unseasoned crew, ladies and gentlemen. So when you hear us throw that term around, that's just us, the newer generation, speaking to the older generation. I wanted to clarify that so that we can understand how we communicate. Because in this industry, in any field, there are going to be seasoned and unseasoned, and we have to learn how to communicate. So here on this here conversation tonight, you're going to see how the seasoned and the unseasoned work together, give advice together, pick each other's brain, and help each other grow. Because that is Black Girl Beauty, and that is what we do here.
Amen.
And to speak on that, Miss Marvette, I heard you say that you've been doing this now for over 10 years. So that means you was already tapped into this thing way before it really hit the market, it will hit our world. It was already in the world because you tapped into it. And it was, a whole lot of other people was in it. But what made you see this way before half of the world saw it? And what was it that gave you the desire to even pursue this? Because some people find it to be very, very challenging, but you seem to have it like that. You seem to have mastered it. So, what was it that, got you started in the AI world?
So for me, even before AI became this thing, because it's been on the horizon for a minute, right? Is that I attended the Art Institute. So my undergrad was in web development. So way back when we still had dial-up, I used to have a website called Indigo Blue, and Indigo Blue was like the Black Yahoo at the time, right? So this is when everybody was just kind of getting started with the internet. But I came across a guy, I can't think of his first name at the moment, but he was an architect and he was online, and he would post how he was making passive income. Every single week he'd post and give you updates on, hey, I did this business. And this was back when Amazon was still selling books. So we all had these affiliate links and we were all trying to just sell Amazon books. So that tells you how long ago it's been. And then in 2018, before I left the government, I decided to go ahead and launch my blog site, because blogging, I was seeing bloggers that were making a ton of money. So, with any type of revolution, whether we've gone through the, industrial age and then computers came online, there's always going to be something new. We did not necessarily expect AI to just blow up and take over as quickly as it did. And thanks to Sam Altman and, ChatGPT and OpenAI, he made that system available for everybody. So at the end of the day, you just kind of foreseeing that technology, you just always have to be on the edge of technology. It doesn't matter what field you decide to go in, technology is going to play a part in it. So wanting to know not just, hey, this is what I do, but what is the back end behind it? So I think that whole creative aspect, and having done web designs and stuff, I've just always been involved in the tech field.
Well, that's awesome. But you also was in the military, right?
I was a military intelligence analyst. So when people, and what that really means is that my job when I was active duty military was to know everything about Russia. I can tell you everything about them, who they are, what they do, all that wonderful good stuff. So a lot of times I see stuff on TV and people are like, I don't believe that's going on. And I'm like, yeah, if you only knew what I knew. So yeah, did the military stuff straight out of high school. And then I went to work for the government And that's pretty much
and that's awesome, ladies and gentlemen. We are talking about powerful women, and not just powerful women, but we can actually say we're talking about some powerful Black women, because our whole panel is Black women. And so I have a question. Do you have a question for Marvette?
Absolutely. As from your perspective as a seasoned woman, what responsibility do you have to pour into the younger generation rising behind you?
Ooh, what responsibility?
What would you tell someone like me that's coming up in your exact same field, other than the technology?
For me, I think that you have to walk in your truth. You know, a lot of us, and not all of us, but many Black women have been taught to shrink when they're in the presence of others. I thank God I wasn't taught that growing up. Nobody told me that I wasn't the best, that I couldn't be the greatest. So I never knew this whole other side of, you know, you got to work twice as hard. No, you don't. We are not going to run ourselves into the grave competing against imaginary folks out here. We're going to do our thing. So one, you know, definitely get your education. And again, your education does not have to be in the traditional manner, because you have access to Google and you have access to YouTube. That means you can learn everything that the next person can learn. You don't necessarily have to go the college path, but that information is out there. So just, you know, making sure that on a day-to-day basis, give yourself 15 minutes a day and learn something new. Because if you're going to be on TikTok, you better be learning something on TikTok. Absolutely. Learn how to put together a TikTok shop and make some money. If you're going to watch YouTube, give yourself 15 minutes a day and learn something new that you did not know the day before. So for me, I just try to make sure I have a couple of young ladies that I definitely mentor and pour back into. And the biggest thing is that don't be a gatekeeper. If I find out something that can benefit my people, I'm going to share it. It does not mean that you can't make money along the way. I'm not saying give all your goodies away and don't, you know, you got to be able to pay your bills and things, right? But you don't have to be a gatekeeper. You can share information. Now, whether or not people take it and do anything with it, that's completely up to them. And then the other thing I would definitely tell young women is make sure that you are not the smartest person in your group. Make sure if you are always that smart one, or the one that's always doing everything and the rest of your friends really aren't trying to do anything, find yourself some new friends. People think that I'm super smart, but I could tell you my top 5 friends all have PhDs. Every single one of them. And guess who they call to get their information from. But again, you know, you want to surround yourself with people that know more than you, have more than you, so that you can in turn get more.
Absolutely. Because if you're the one that's always feeding and you're the one that's always helping, but you're not feeding yourself, after a while, you're going to get burnt out.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're just now tuning in, again, I'm Black Girl Beauty Coach Uniquia Manigault, and this is Black Girl Beauty Coach Amanda Manigault. And I want you to drop a like, drop a comment, and share, and tell a friend to tune in. Because that, I want to tap into Miss Marvette. That might have been the best answer I ever heard to that question. Because what we as Black women, and I'm speaking for the unseasoned crew, getting that question from a seasoned woman, the answer was almost, it was almost perfect, because we don't hear enough that we don't have to work twice as hard. I may have never heard it.
I don't know who came up with that idea that we're always in competition with other people, other folks, when the only person you need to be in competition with is yourself. Is the person you see in the mirror, that's the person who you want to outdo on a daily basis. This notion, I just think it puts so much mental pressure on people to think, you know, that the moment you walk into a room and nobody looks like you, you automatically put yourself on eggshells. Well, I didn't grow up like that in Harrisburg, so nobody never ever told me that. So I've walked in plenty of rooms and handled my business like I was supposed to, with no reservations. Now it does explain when I look back over my career why some of these people probably thought that, who does she think she is? Well, I thought I was Marvette.
I was just gonna say exactly who you are.
Yeah,
and that question along with the second answer is so perfect. When we stop gatekeeping and we start sharing information, it almost becomes second nature for us to not have to outdo someone. Because I'm the only one in this room, but there was one here before me and she told me what to do when I came in here. Therefore, we don't have to work as hard. We need more of that. From season to unseason, we need to share more of that and not only tell us we don't have to work so hard, help us not have to work so hard. It's one thing, because that's something that the season do a lot. You need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this, without explaining how to do it. And that's where the second answer came in. I just think that was an awesome answer, both of them.
Awesome. If you're just now tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, this is Marvette Critney. She is an awesome powerhouse young lady who has been in the industry as an entrepreneur for an amazing long time. Marvette is an entrepreneur guru. She is a real estate agent, a broker. She does just about anything. Marvette wears a lot of hats. Marvette, what all are you doing? I know you're online in the digital world. I know you're a real estate agent. You got a couple other things that you do. You help people set up websites.
You know everything.
I do think I know everything. So, it kind of ties back into what Amanda said earlier, is that you can have one main business, right? So on the real estate side, I have my real estate brokerage, and I am a real estate broker licensed in the state of Georgia. Underneath of that LLC umbrella, I also teach government contracting. Why? Because I was a federal GSA government contracting officer. So I can tie that business right back into real estate. I can do property management, ties back into real estate. I could be a community association manager for an HOA, all of that ties back into real estate. So that's on the real estate side. On the digital side with Brag Differently & Co., and that's probably my bigger umbrella, I do all of the digital coaching. So I have a ton of clients that, I provide coaching. I teach them how to build these digital products. I teach people how to use AI. Probably maybe a couple of months back, I taught a senior class, a lunch and learn at the Epicenter in Douglasville. They do lunch and learns, monthly lunch and learns. And they had me come in and teach their seniors all about AI. Because a lot of people think, oh, well, I just get AI to write my emails and make what I post online sound better. That is just one teeny tiny bit of things that you can do with AI. AI has grown so much that you can create an app. You know, what used to cost you $80,000-$90,000 to build out, you could do it in a matter of 30 minutes, and you have a full-fledged app that you could put on the Apple Store, that you could put on Google Play and sell to people. So what I'm telling folks is that you just have to have these multiple streams. So like I have books on Amazon KDP. My top selling book, and I know you guys aren't going to be able to guess what it is. I have a book. It's sold about 65 copies so far on Amazon KDP. Amazon is, you can make your own books and sell them on Amazon. What would you think that book would be about?
A how-to guide.
Nope. Inspirational pamphlet or something.
Nope. It is a book on what's the little Japanese characters, the anime. It's a book on anime.
Oh my God.
I don't know anything about anime at all, but I do know how to design stuff. I'm very creative. I'm very artsy. So I think when I graduated high school, they voted me most artistic, right? So I can draw, I can create stuff. And even if you can't draw, guess what can draw for you? These apps. So you don't even need to know. You just need to know how to turn your computer on and become a prompt engineer. If you can tell the computer what to do, and that's all prompt engineering is you're telling the system what you want it to do. it can create stuff for you. But yeah, so I put together, and it's blank on the inside. So there's no, it's just the cover. And then it's a sketchbook.
Wow.
It's a blank sketchbook. But it has sold 65 copies.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, this is entrepreneur guru. This is the brilliantly talented, seasoned powerhouse, Marvette Critney. She will be at the summit this Friday. You guys come check her out. But before then, Marvette, I do want you, because I'm going to pivot a little bit because my other panelists are not here, but the special guest who I told y'all about is here. And since you started talking about books, Marvette, I'm going to go ahead and bring him in and tie this on in here because he is author as well. He is also a bowling life coach. Now, have anybody ever heard that? My daughter said bowling life coach. She said,
I did not. I asked
she said bowling life.
What it was.
So this is a unique. This is another thing about the world we're in, you guys. You can take anything and start a business with it. Anything. So tonight, you guys, my special guest, he was supposed to be here last week, but we had some technical difficulties last week getting him on. But he is here tonight. And guess what, Marvette? I don't know if you know Derrick, but Derrick is from Harrisburg. I'm going to say Dr. P. Dr. P is from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Also, he's going to tell you a little bit about him, but he's also an author. He writes books. He self-publishes his own books. He's a bowling coach and CEO of Advanced Concepts in Professional Development. So, Dr. P, can you tell us who you are? Introduce yourself to our platform.
And tell us what you do.
Good to see you. You, what's your name again? Marvette?
Marvette.
What year did you graduate? With Sister Stacy?
86.
She came out after me, Dr. P.
Okay, good, okay. Yes, well, I do professional development and also teach micro, macro, and survey economics and I teach management and technology at Kent State University. So I'll go around in other places to make sure that they run their business correctly, teach them how to sell, teach them how to have the hard conversations, make sure they have energy, and make sure that they always outgive their clients.
Wow, awesome. So, Dr. P, we had Joe Dudley on here last week. He's one of our keynote speakers as well. And he was talking about his story and telling his story a little bit about, how he got started and his parents, Dudley Beauty Corp. I want you to go back a little bit too, if you could, for me, and tell us your amazing story, because I like the fact that you persevered. And that's what we're going to be, highlighting a little bit at our summit on Friday, how people think that they got to come from this world where, everything is already there. And then a lot of us, especially the unseasoned, they think that everything has to be perfect in order for them to push the button.
The seasoned think that. The unseasoned know we can be a little not together.
But anyway, you have some people out there that they think everything has to be perfect. Can you touch on that just a little bit for me, Dr. P?
I'm going to come very imperfect.
No, it's not supposed to be perfect. It gets earned to be uncomfortable.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're having a little technical difficulty. Mr. Dr. P will be right back in a second. But a correction. I want to go ahead and correct this because Miss Amanda done said it a couple times and it's highly, 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 highly incorrect. We have that. Ladies and gentlemen, in the industry, in the business, when you are presenting your brand to the world, you're going to have many people. It's like checks and balances. You're going to have people that come and they're going to check whatever it is that you're putting together. Miss Amanda is one of my checks and balances. Everything that we put out has to be tip-top, perfect shape.
No.
Yes.
No.
Oh, yeah. Miss Amanda, I'm talking about if the string is hanging too low, you got to redo the whole video. I see. You see what I'm saying? In the middle of my sentence, if the string string is hanging too low.
We keep some real on our show, ladies and gentlemen.
Wants you to redo it and everything. I listen, hey, I'm gonna leave the string in there, especially if the video was A1. Back to you, Dr. P.
Okay. You remind me of your grandmother, young lady.
Thank you. Which one?
Naomi.
Yes, you do.
No.
Yes, I know her since I was 5.
He's from Harrisburg.
Now, let me tell you something here. What branch of the service were you in, young lady?
Army.
Okay, I was in the Air Force 8 years. I dropped out of high school in 9th grade, so technically I have an 8th grade education. I went to John Harris out there. So after 5 times I passed my GED, takes me 5 times to get my driver's license, takes me 30 years to finish college. It takes me 20 years to bowl a 300 game, 30 years to bowl an 800 series. I have 5 degrees with both my parents was killed by the time I was 12. I have an associate's degree in procurement. I was also a contract specialist in the Air Force, young lady.
Okay.
I got a bachelor's in business. I got an MBA. I have a double doctor's, organizational leadership and special ed, and I almost have another master's degree in clinical mental health, but I couldn't do that because I can't lie to people. So when somebody say we can't make it, yes, we can. Just get mad and do something about it. Anger is a gift. Constructive anger is a gift. Don't be destructive. Constructive anger is a gift. You talk about motivation. I took a bus to Carlisle every day for 9 months, 54 miles a day for $2.10 an hour, and I never missed one day. Let me tell you something. Raise your hand if you're scared to be broke. Raise your hand if you're scared to be broke.
I'm scared.
I ain't scared, but I don't want it.
Let me tell you this. Someone said this, and I had a nice rebuttal for them. They said money won't buy happiness, and I said you're absolutely right. But it's with money, it certainly can bring you some. So you gotta have to make sure you make some money so you can help some other people. Otherwise, you can't do anything. Now the
I'd
reason
rather
why
fly in the Bentley than the Hyundai.
Yes. And so I love to learn. I wrote all these workshops. I wrote a bunch of books. I wrote one on child support, leadership, economics. I wrote one on character development, how to get rid of your ifs, how to solve your problems. I wrote one on diversity. In other words, I defang people from taking excuses from folks here. So if you want something bad enough, all you have to do, like I did at the POW one time. I didn't know how to swim, so I went to the POW. You remember where the POW is, don't you? Don't you remember where the POW is on 3rd Street? The police athletic club. Right, that's where I learned to swim. Okay. And the only way you can't learn to swim by read the book. You gotta get in the water. The first time I learned to swim at 8, I almost drowned. That's how I learned to swim. Same way with business. You got to get out of here. You got to come out here and see what occurs. Sometimes it may work, sometimes it's not. But guess what? The thing is the process. How much are you going to learn in the process, and what can you take from that? Because whatever you go through, you can monetize that. Somebody will pay you to save a mistake. Mm-hmm. Everything you go through, it's one of your testimonies, so you can tell folks. So I tell people if they work in their GED, I say, how many times you failed it? Once. Keep going. It took me 5 times. I don't care if it takes you 100 times. Keep going. The only reason why you failed it because you're not prepared. If you prepare, you don't fail. It's like anything else. And if you prepare, you're not nervous. So when I speak in front of these people, long as I'm talking about bowling or shooting pool or teaching, I'm not going to talk about no black girl magic. I don't know about braiding hair. I don't know about that.
Now, Dr. P, my next question, I almost thought the answer was them 30 years you said it took you to graduate or get your degrees until you broke down how many degrees you had. I feel like that wasn't that tough. Now 30 years for 6, 7, 8 degrees, that's not a bad thing. But my next question is, what is the biggest hurdle you had to overcome to get where you are today? I heard you say that it took you 5 times to take certain tests and 30 years to do. I thought the answer was them 30 years because it took me 5 years to get my degree, and that was that killed me. I couldn't imagine 30, but I was thinking 30 for 1. But 30 for about 8, listen. 5, just 5.
Hey, you asked me a question. You asked me.
What is the biggest hurdle that you had to overcome to get where you are today?
Hanging around people with some sense, and get away from people who make you unsafe. Because let me tell you something here. If people don't believe in you, they're not going to help you. They're not. If a person don't believe in you, they're not going to help you. Some people want you to do well. They don't want you to do better than them. And when they give you the first red flag, quit them. That's why I got that one workshop that said, I quit you.
And was that easy, just to walk away, or was it a struggle?
I had to quit my own grandma at 15, 16. I did.
And that's something we don't talk about enough in our community. When it's your family, especially mom, dad, grandma, and grandpa, how did that affect you on your process to get where you are?
You have to have the hard conversation. Because let me tell you this, don't you ever forget this. There is no prosthetic amputated spirit. I don't like to amputate with spirits. There ain't no prosthetic for that. And if most of these folks get the spirit amputated right at home, that's where the enemy is at, right in their own household, around their own family. And I'm just like that.
Miss Marvette, I want to ask you that same question. On your journey to get where you are today, what was your biggest hurdle that you had to overcome?
I haven't had any big hurdles. I honestly simply haven't. For me, and this is something that could be unique to Harrisburg, right? And we were talking about this with some other people. Growing up in Harrisburg, at least I did not encounter or see a lot of the racial stuff that when I talked to other people that lived in other areas, that they went through a lot of just racial tensions and stuff growing up. I didn't necessarily have any of that, right? We all went to the same elementary schools. The schools were mixed. We had white kids. I lived over off of Swatara Street. So I can remember that Mike Favazuli's dad was the police chief and they lived 5 doors from us. There were white neighbors, black neighbors, Spanish neighbors, you name it. Everybody was in Harrisburg. And I just don't remember having to have a bunch of animosity or, people from Harrisburg, we all still get along. I think it's so unique that we're all, we're all friends. We all keep in contact.
Where you say you was from, girl?
Our generation, we all keep in contact. We all know each other. I didn't have any of that, but I also left right after high school and went into the military. I left and I went into the military. So some people would say, oh, your biggest hurdle. Oh, you had a child when you were in high school. I sure did. And I bought my first house when I was 21. So it's all about your perspective. And again, I was surrounded by people that poured into me. So nobody ever told me that I could not do anything. I just wasn't raised like that. So having went into the military right after high school, it's a whole different environment. And, having been in military intelligence and being surrounded by the individuals that I was around, you were just taught, that military gives you that solid foundation. Contrary to what people may think, the military was one of the best things that I could have done for myself and done for my children and my grandchildren at this point. So I didn't really have any major hurdles because, again, I was just always taught that you can go out here and do whatever you want to do. And I was fortunate enough that in my jobs in the military, I was always at the command level. So that probably was a big benefit, and that I was used to dealing and interacting as a 19-year-old with a 4-star. So then transitioning over into the federal service, you being a director or something, I used to work for the 4-star. So you can't tell me anything that's going to hurt my feelings. I was active duty military. So I think that had a lot to do with it as well. And then having started work, I worked at the Navy Depot, at the Mechanicsburg Navy Depot when I was in high school. So I caught that bus too, Dr. P, back and forth every day as a co-op student.
I was there too, Marvette.
Yes. So I think some of it is just about mindset.
Well, no, yeah. Let me check. You got a break to take some here. Save me. A man took me under his wing. He was a C-5 pilot in the Air Force. And I got to hang around smart people, and it makes a difference because if I'd have stayed at third minute, that mindset would have been messed up here. So yes, you got.
Oh, we lost them again. Marvette, I have a question for you.
Okay.
How do you balance being a digital creator, an architect of brands, a real estate broker, and a CEO plus, and still show up with excellence?
Automation, systems. You have got to have systems in place. If you're not using Chat GPT, you need to be using Chat, whether you're using Chat or Claude. But having the automations and the systems in place to help you navigate every single day, like you can't do it by yourself anymore. So all these tools help you become very, very efficient. So a lot of stuff that we used to have to worry about and do, responding to emails, if someone sends you an email, well, you can automate all of that so that at the very least they've gotten a response back from you. So really using a lot of the automation and the tools. But as far as, and then just having integrity about everything that you do. If there's a problem, call the person and let them know there's going to be an issue. If you're behind on a deadline, just be very proactive about it. It will save you so much heartache in the long run. But, just making sure that when I show up, that I want to be that person that I would want to be. The same way I want to be treated is the way that I treat people. And I know people use that as a cliche, but I really do try to make it a point to be a good person. At the end of the day, I don't want anybody to say, oh, Marvette was foul. She didn't do what she said she was going to do. You will never hear that about Marvette.
Awesome. And then the next question, Uniquia, did you have that? There was another question I had for Marvette.
Miss Marvette, what responsibility do you feel like you have to encourage the younger generation with confidence? Like the confidence that you have, especially with the lack of hurdles and everything. Like, how do you inspire young women to have the confidence to be who they are everywhere they are?
Without having to twerk and all of this other stuff, because today the women think that they have to be like the celebrities, or they have to go out here and put on the tightest dress and show their whole body in order to be successful.
Here's my thought on that. If that is what, at the end of the day, because this is a whole different generation, and what we may feel is inappropriate, they are perfectly fine with it. And if twerking it gets you $1 million, then I'm the first one to tell you to go out here and twerk. Because if I could twerk, I'd have me an OnlyFans already, and I would be in my little room twerking. But my bank account would say I got $1 million in it. So
for the non-twerkers.
For the non-twerkers.
I know there are nakeds,
right?
There are twerkers, but there are a lot of beautiful women in the world, not even just Black women, period, that feel like they can't go somewhere and can't make it and don't have the confidence to not twerk and be naked. And I'm not saying or trying to belittle anyone that does that, right. But we also want to create a space where women who don't do that have access, encouragement, and information on how they can make it without having to do that. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna personally say this: when you do take certain avenues to success, it comes with burdens, and some roads are longer, but just what do you think?
I got you. So on that note, the flip side of that, and I said what I said because there are individuals that that's what they do, and they need to be encouraged too, right? But the flip side of that is making sure that you are spiritually grounded. Whatever faith you believe in, be grounded in that faith, walk in that faith. And we all come from different religious backgrounds, and I'm one of those people. I study everything. So just being grounded and being grounded in your authentic self. Whoever you are, everybody has a genius. One of my taglines is that I tap into people's geniuses. We all have something inside of us that we are very, very good at. Sometimes you don't even know that you're good at it. you gotta do some stuff, try some stuff, test some stuff out to see what it is that you really like. So making sure that those individuals really just have someone that they can talk to. So if I show up online, I try to put positive information out, because what I realize is that there's always someone watching you and there's someone following you, even if they've never. I had someone recently purchase something from me, and as I was talking to her, she was like, "I've been following you for 10 years."
Oh, wow.
I had never met her, but again, people are always following you and looking at you. So just trying to be a good example that when you do show up in this digital space, that you represent the best of the best at the end of the day, and give people encouragement.
Dr. P, you back?
Yes, and that word which you were just speaking of is called serendipity. To accidentally discover what you want to do while you're doing something else. That's how I ended up being a bowler. I walked by Kaiser's one day, 3rd Hamilton, and asked the lady, said, "What's that noise up there?" She said, "It's bowling." I said, "Well, what's that?" And that's how I became a bowler. Like anything else, smart people follow the serendipity.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
And Dr. P, I want to ask you that same question as well. How do you inspire young Black men of the younger generation to have the confidence to continue on the way you continued on? Because I mean, it's easy to say, I know you failed it 3 times, but take it a 3rd time. Like, where does that confidence to even, because especially as a man, because I'm a woman, and listening and speaking to men, they go through and experience things that we as women could never even think about. And they don't have pretty privilege. Some of them got handsome privilege, but it's not pretty privilege. It don't come like pretty privilege do.
Right.
How do you encourage that confidence in them to go take a test 3 or 4 times, to walk through the neighborhood proudly with an 8th grade education?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that question. First of all, I have the right to use myself as an antidote, as an example, because I actually did it. And another reason why I tell folks, you better go to school and learn something, because here's why. In 1978, after I passed that GED test, I was all proud of myself. I got a job at a construction site, concrete construction. I last 4 days. I told the man, I'm too pretty to work this hard here. I said, let me take some here. You better run back to school. If you don't, you may work for a straw boss. You may have one of them supervisors. It could get very, very ugly. So no, I said, it's just temporarily. If you stay at it, you will have an aha moment. All of a sudden, it's just like learning math. Yes, it's hard at first, but if you stay at it, all of a sudden, aha. And if you learn one thing, you can learn it all. That's how I use myself as an example.
Awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just now tuning in, again, we have a few of our panelists here from our summit here on Friday. We're giving you a little snippet. Drop a like, drop a comment, share, and tell a friend to tell a friend that the Amanda Manigault Show is back. And here we are giving you a snippet for our summit this weekend. We are doing empowerment. We are speaking. I'm Black Girl Beauty Coach Uniquia Manigault. This is Black Girl Beauty Coach Miss Amanda Manigault. We have Miss Marvette Critney and Dr. P here giving us a little bit of information on a little snippet of what we will be speaking on this Friday at the summit. A little bit of everything, ladies and gentlemen. We've gotten confidence. We've gotten a little bit of it all. Back to Miss Amanda.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to close out. It is 9 o'clock, and we just talked about Miss Marvette. She's a very busy woman. Dr. P is a very busy man. But before they leave out, I just want them to tell us one thing that they can expect to learn from you, and a piece of empowerment that they'll receive on Friday from attending the summit. And then Marvette, I want you to tell people, even though you're going to be at the summit, some people won't be at the summit. How can they get in touch with you?
So people can get in contact with me by going to marvettecritney.com. There is a contact form on there, so that if you need some information, you need to reach out to me, or you have a question, you can also text me at 404-396-4519. Do not be texting me at 2 a.m. in the morning, but I will respond to you. So again, they can reach me at marvettecritney.com.
Eastern time?
Eastern time. Yes, ma'am.
You gotta be specific if you got time.
And what is one thing, Marvette, that when they come to the summit on Friday, they're going to meet you one-on-one, face-to-face. What is one thing that you can ensure them they're going to walk away with?
They will learn how to tap into their genius. That is my superpower. You could tell me who you are, what you do, and in 15 seconds, I'm gonna be able to map out everything, the types of businesses that you should be attracted to, what you're gonna engage with. But I'm gonna teach you how to tap into your genius and turn those genius into coins so that you can create a digital business.
Awesome. Dr. P, same question. What is it that they're going to learn from you? What are they going to leave with from you? And how can they get in touch with you outside of the summit?
Okay, well, the main thing they're going to learn from me is strategy is overrated. Execution is everything. I'm going to teach them how to turn their contacts into contracts. And don't be afraid to get paid. Don't be afraid to charge your fee. Because the only thing free in America is your freedom to choose how you're going to pay for it. You have to cover your expenses. You got to cover your costs. And they're going to leave there to learn how to identify and solve somebody's problem. People will pay you to solve their problem. That's all. And they're going to learn that and use your sense of humor.
Awesome.
And Dr. P, before you leave, I didn't hear anything about the bowling.
Oh, well, I used to bowl for the Air Force.
You got to come to the summit.
Oh, yes. I do mental bowling coaching from the mind. I can line you up just from talking to you on the phone. If I see you for a couple, yes, I can. And then another thing.
He said he can line you up from talking to the phone. Marvette said that she with you 2 minutes and she gonna figure you out.
15 seconds. This is the type of energy that we are coming to in the summit. We have a 15-second strategy. She can tell you exactly who you are and what you can do and how to turn it into coins. And Dr. P can tell you how to line it up over the phone. And let's jump into Black Girl Beauty Coach, Miss Amanda Manigault. Who are you and what can you do?
Hey, we can do it all. We can help you get your license. We can help you get a job. There is no reason for nobody to be out here not getting paid because we start at age 10 training you. Age 12 you can earn a stipend, and then age 16 we can put you straight on the job and you can start getting paid by the hour. All you ladies, all you gentlemen that's sitting in your kitchen doing hair, sitting on your front porch doing hair, I don't knock you. Guess what? Because that's where I started at. But I want to get you out of the kitchen. I want to take you off that front porch and put you into a professional salon, barbershop, spa. I don't care if it's skincare, nail care, hair care, makeup, whatever it is that you want to do, we can take that trade. We also do performing arts. We also do construction, roofing, electrical, plumbing, and carpentry. So let me tell you, audio. This is the place to be, you guys.
Absolutely.
100% online. So we're going to let you go. All we're going to tell you is, if you don't know, you better be at the summit on Friday so you can learn more. Okay?
And ladies and gentlemen, before we go, allow me to tell you who I am and what I can do for you. Like, how dare you? My name is Uniquia Manigault. I'm Black Girl Beauty Coach, and I teach acting, modeling, and poetry. I bring out the entertainer in you, the confidence, the energy. I'm teaching you how to bring it all. That is one of the things we teach here at Black Girl Beauty School. Don't you ever forget it. You see this energy? How dare she try to cut off without me? Don't do me.
I love
the energy that we're bringing to the summit, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
We're entertaining you. We're informing you. We're educating you. We are lifting you up and showing you how to turn all of that into dollars, which is the most important part, ladies and gentlemen, because if it ain't making you money, it ain't.
Walking into 2026 with a strategy, system, learning, wealth, and legacy. It has been indeed a plum-pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege to have you guys with us tonight. We will see you on Friday at the summit.
Okay.
Good
night.
All right. Good night.
Good night.